Hello guys, this is Punit and I'm a price action trader. I trade E-mini contracts on 2000 tick chart. So in this video, I have a friend who's joining me by the name Shushmita. Hello Shushmita.
Hello.
And she's also my student. She's learning trading from me. So what we are going to do in this video is review my live trades which I took for the day and explain bar by bar what my logic was and what all mistakes I did on the day. If you want a review of bar by bar on a minute time frame chart, I do that too, and the link will be in the description below. If you have any doubts regarding the video or my trades or setups, please do ask them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So let's start the review, right? Okay. We can see that this was a huge gap down from yesterday's close.
Yeah.
So EMA will act as a magnet. So will the yesterday's close. Okay. If we see, the first two bars were trading range bars. This was not a strong closing bear bar, and the second bar was an inside bar, which means the range of the second bar is entirely within the range of the first bar, and it is also a bear doji bar. The third bar, as it was still printing, I entered on the long side, hoping that it will close strongly and then give me 1:1 risk to reward. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens. I entered here. Also, I put one more order to enter one tick above this bar side.
Okay.
That said, do you think this bar is very strong closing bar?
Yes.
It's a decent enough closing bar. Why?
Yeah.
Because
It's
this
not a
this
very
has a
strong.
huge wick on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my scaling trade was a mistake. This is not a strong closing bull bar. If it was, maybe then it was the best entry. So this was the
Yeah.
first mistake of the day. I could have exited, but then I let it hit my stop loss. I moved my stop loss one tick below this bar's low. So if you see, it went almost 4 points in my favor. Since I'm trading two contracts, that's almost 8 points. Usually, when
Yes.
I scalp for 5 to 6 points. So I could have exited for a good profit, but then I was being too greedy and I didn't, recognize my mistake here. That this was not a scaling trade.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go to the second trade.
Yeah.
Here, if you see, price try to go against bears once, continue lower. This is the second attempt at price trying to go higher.
Yeah.
So the bears will be trapped. Again,
Okay.
here I enter while the bar is forming, put my stop loss below this bar's low.
Okay.
And I also place a stop market order. Once this bar closes, I'll enter one tick above this bar high to scale in. Why? If this closes strongly, which it did, unlike
Yeah.
this bar, it has high chances of meeting my profit target.
Profit target.
Since this was reversing, I gave it time to close and then I tightened my stop loss. Here also, if you see, could I have exited here? I could have, hoping this was the climax bar and it will reach one tick above this bar. That was a good enough exit. If you see, it exactly went to one tick above this bar and then it reversed. For those who don't know what climax reverse is, you can go through my playlist. I have a live explanation of it. Could I have exited here? I could have, but then again greedy. So this were the two mistakes early in the day. Usually, if you see, this is almost 7 point or more from my entry price, and I could have exited happily, making up for the loss here. This was a 4 point loss. Since I had traded two contracts, that was 8 point loss. Here, 14 point profit because this is two contracts. So I would have made up for that loss and then much more.
Yeah.
So I move my stop loss here close to the bear bar. If it goes below that, then I'm wrong. But then if you see, since this is reversing up again, I don't want to give back more, and I tighten my stop loss even further and put it one tick below this bar. Okay, why do I exit somewhere there? Because usually, see, whoever went long here, they got trapped if they didn't exit like me. So
Yeah.
now, if the price reaches this point, they will exit for a profit, right?
Correct.
But that said, this is also EMA is still catching up. So that will also act as a magnet. And this high will also act as a magnet. Bulls who bought here and scaled in lower will want to exit here, right? So this is also one more profit target exit.
Yeah.
And this is also day's high. I didn't want to risk much. So I exited half the positions here and then put my profit target here for the other half position. So hit my profit target for the half contract size.
Yeah.
I could have kept it here. It was not a wrong thing to do. I was just being cautious because I made two mistakes early in the day.
Yeah.
And if you saw that right price almost hit your stop loss and then move higher,
Yeah. I see.
it does that more often than not. So that is why you keep your stop losses and not move them unnecessarily. So that was a good trade. Not a good trade, but okay trade because this was a mistake. Okay, now what is happening? Big up, big down, confusion. So trading range price action. Also,
Yeah.
price tried to do something against the bear once. This is second attempt. So if I have to draw an imaginary trend line here, 1, 2, 3, and if price reverses there, that will be a wedge bottom setup, and I can go long one tick above the high. Okay, why
Yes.
did I place this limit order is because this is trading range price action. So if it
Yes.
touches this point, I can scalp out. Why? Because price reverses at the bottom third region, right?
Yes. Yeah. I know.
So that is why I placed a limit order here. Okay. But then if you see price is reversing here itself. So I entered as soon as the bar closed. One mistake I did with this trade was I didn't pull my stop loss all the way to the low of this candle. I put it somewhere here, right?
Uh, yeah.
Usually, what do I teach you guys? You have to place it one tick below the
Yeah.
signal bar low or the entire day's low. Why? Because this is the bottom third region. You are expecting prices to reach the top third region. So today was not all that great. I made a lot of mistakes early in the morning. I still made money, but that doesn't mean that I traded well.
Yeah. Correct.
So I entered on market order again. If you see, I recognize that it was mistake and the setup is still valid. I entered there, put my profit target here, it got hit. So I made up for that mistake and 2, 3 points more profit, I guess. So three trades, all three were almost mistakes. And this is a strong breakout of the trading range. And what have I taught you about trading ranges? Usually when it breaks out of a trading range, it tries to reverse back into the range and not start to trend suddenly. Why? Because markets have inertia.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to know more details about the trading range price action, I have many such videos and I'll link those in the description. It's a playlist so you can go through them. Now what is happening? I was just checking. Okay, that's a huge gap down. Price is still. I mean, price has to catch up to EMA still. This is a breakout below the trading range. So bad follow through bar after the breakout. Also 1, 2, 3 potentially wedge bottom. So I was hoping for a reversal bar, but then if you see, it reversed up too quickly, and I didn't want to risk much, so I entered while the bar was forming. For
Yeah.
beginners, I wouldn't recommend this because it's too risky to do that. It's better to wait for a bar closing and then to enter on the high.
Correct. Yeah.
So as soon as it was trying to go higher, I entered. I put my stop loss. So that was other 7 points. So I'm still up on the day heavily, but I didn't like the day much, at least my decision much. Price tested the EMA. It's reversing
Yeah.
again. What is this? Big down, big up, still in a trading range. Can you go short one tick below this bar? You can, but that is like almost 15 or 18 points risk. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't take that trade even if you put a bullet to my head. Again, why am I putting a limit order here? The same logic which I explained here. Big down, big up, trading range price action. So if it reaches the bottom third region, usually you'll get a scalp up. what did I say about scalps? Usually I'll get out at 5 to 6 points. Since the markets have been a bit volatile, I would say you can scalp out at 7 or 8 or 9 points too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it hit my limit order entry on the long side.
Yeah.
I tightened my stop loss to almost 2 points, and as soon as I did, it hit the profit target. Why was I about to cancel the order was I made too many mistakes here, and
Yeah.
if I'm looking at it, it seems like it's going to be a bear channel rather than a trading range channel. Trading range means the top region will be parallel to the bottom region, right? Horizontal almost. But if you
Yeah.
see, if I have to draw a channel, it will be somewhat sloping downwards, right? So although it's a trading range, it's sloping downwards. So maybe this was not the best entry. So this is one, two, and third push whenever it happens. That is very long for a scalp. Here again, I didn't want to make any mistakes. So instead of getting in long while the bar is forming, okay, if I have to draw a channel here for a wedge
Yeah.
bottom, this will be the line. This is the overshoot of the channel. And you know what overshoots do, right? That is extreme
Yeah.
behavior, and it usually reverses within 5 hours after the overshoot.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Overshoot means this is the wedge channel line. It's breaking below the wedge channel line, being a bear trend. So that is
Yes.
extreme behavior.
Yeah, that's when the reversal happens after few channels.
Yeah.
Few
So
candles, sorry.
yeah, exactly. Now I have confidence that it will reverse up, and I would have entered on the market order if it actually pulled back to. And I tightened my stop loss to 5 points. And then I again tightened my stop loss here.
Yeah.
So those were all the trades which I took. Many mistakes today, not a good trading day for me. Although I made money, that was also a mistake if you see. But then I got lucky. This was a good trade. And this thing, scaling in was a mistake. So a lot of mistakes today for me. I'll have to correct those. If you want to watch more such videos of me explaining the daily trades which I take, I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you guys, and thank you Shushmita for joining.
Thank you.